Opening with the queen's pawn controls the center and usually leads to a more positional development of the pieces. The Indian game begins by controlling the important e4 square with the knight, rather than a pawn. Knight f3 develops the knight toward the center, gains more control over the e5 square, and strengthens the d4 pawn. d5 gains space in the center and controls the e4 and c4 squares. You're staying on track with standard opening theory. Nice work. c6 supports the d5 pawn and allows the queen to develop on the queen side. Queen c2 develops the queen and protects the c4 pawn. g6 prepares to fianchetto the dark squared bishop to g7, where it will sit on the long diagonal. That pawn chain will help strengthen your pawn structure. Textbook play so far. Developing the bishop and increasing influence in the center. This develops the bishop and gives it scope on the long diagonal. Developing the knight and increasing influence in the center. Castling gets the king out of the center of the board, while also developing a rook. Castling on the same side as your opponent and preparing for the middle game. Black develops the knight and attacks the center. That pawn chain will help strengthen your pawn structure. Moving the rook gives black more flexibility in the middle game. Your rooks can work together now. This misses an opportunity to strike at the center with a pawn. This permits the opponent to win a tempo by threatening a rook. You gain time because your opponent must deal with your threat. This moves the rook to safety. Nice find! You found the only move in this position. You attack a rook, winning a tempo when it moves away. This move puts the rook on a safer square. You've activated every piece with this move, putting your rook into play. This offers an equal trade of pieces. You trade off equal material. This overlooks a better way to recapture a piece. This is a fine move. This offers an equal trade of pieces. Nice, definitely the right move. This weakens black's pawn structure. You've moved your knight to a powerful square. This mobilizes the knight, allowing it to control more of the board. Good job, that's what I would have played too. This offers to exchange pieces of equal value. Well done, an excellent move. This gives away a free pawn. Yes, this is the way. This develops a piece while also winning a tempo on a knight. Good idea to take the outpost. This is an equal trade. Recapturing. This threatens to win material through a fork. You prevented your opponent from being able to win material through a fork. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. You kicked your opponent's piece from that square. This moves the knight to safety. This move attacks your opponent's pawn chain. This protects an underdefended pawn that is under attack. You exchange pieces of equal value. Takes back. This move is okay, but not what I would have played. This protects the attacked pawn. Your rook takes an open file, a good way to activate the rook. This move puts the bishop on a safer square. That pawn was yours for the taking. Putting the piece on a blockade square. This is the way to win a queen. This moves the queen to safety. Your passed pawn can soon become dangerous for black. Black's knight has moved to a square with greater activity and control. You're kicking their queen out of a useful square. This moves the queen to safety. You gain time because your opponent must deal with your threat. This loses a rook, but the position was losing no matter what. You captured that free rook. This wins time by threatening a knight and forcing it to move away. A good choice to move your threatened knight. This loses a rook, but the position was losing no matter what. You can win a rook with a fork. Very nice. This evades the check from the knight. This wins a bishop. This moves the rook to safety. That bishop was yours for the taking. You are threatening to force eventual checkmate. This permits the opponent to force eventual checkmate. Your opponent has no escape. You can force a checkmate with the correct moves. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. You're continuing down the road to checkmate. This steps away from the checking queen. Checkmate is always the best move.